Welcome to Plainfield High School. We do apologize for the technical difficulties we've had, but we are on and hopefully bringing you the rest of this game. It is currently here in the first quarter, 11:01 left to go. Plainfield has the ball after they won the toss and elected to receive. It is currently 2nd and 1 on Plainfield's own 35. Slayton has two receivers near side, one wide to the right. And looks like possibly encroachment, so that flag should be on Whiteland. We'll wait for the call. We want to thank you for enjoying Plainfield Varsity Football on AudioSportsOnline.com. This broadcast is brought to you by Wicker Construction, Beacon Sign Company, Gunnell and Kinnaman LLP, Dahm Trucking, Elite Pro Painting, Jimmy John's, Pizza King Station of Avon, and the Beacon Sign Company. Both these teams come into this game 4-3 on the season. We'll get to starters here momentarily. And off this time goes to Gadia. He runs up the middle, doesn't find much, but continues to plow ahead and gets about an extra couple of yards into Whiteland territory. So gain of about 5 on that run by Gadia. Brings out 2nd and 5. The starters for this Plainfield offense under center is the quarterback, Ben Slayton, sophomore, 6'1", 190. He has 1,214 yards on the season as well as 13 touchdowns and 1 interception. Slayton this time in the pistol. Gadia to his right. Two receivers near side, one to the right. 2nd and 5. Slayton takes it, fakes to Gadia, looks right side, and too high for his intended target of Middleton, who can't bring it in. That brings out 3rd down. Some of Slayton's go-to targets are going to be Dante Keys, the senior, 6'2", 180. Gavin Ritter, the junior, 5'10", 160. He has 640 reception yards on the season as well as 8 receiving touchdowns. And also you'll see Luke Middleton sub in there occasionally as we just did. The running back is Tavian Gadia, the sophomore, 5'5", 165. He has 95 rushes on the season, 482 yards. Gadia now lined up to the left of Slayton, two receivers near side. Handoff is given to Gadia, and he's swallowed up whole by Ryder Emberton of Whiteland. And that'll bring out 4th down and likely a punt from Hagee. Go ahead and get to the rest of the Plainfield offensive starters. Hopefully we'll get to Whiteland's defense when Plainfield retakes the field. The offensive line for Plainfield, Peyton Mead, Connor Kennedy, Ethan Grenier, Jacob Spray, and Drew Grenier. The tight end is Brady Adams, and the fullback is Cooper Nichols. Hagee's punt will be placed to Shimon Ogega. And it's a low punt. Bounces at the 20, and looks like it will roll out of bounds at about the 19. And that'll bring out the Whiteland offense. We talked about both these teams coming into this game 4-4. They're both tied for 2nd place in the Mid-State Conference. I'm JP Sinclair. This is AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield Varsity Football. Plainfield is wearing their home red uniforms with the white numbering, white pants, and red stripes. Whiteland in their visiting white uniforms with the blue numbers, blue pants, and orange highlights. It's 1st and 10 for Whiteland on the 20. Jace Carpenter under center has a man in motion, fakes it, gives it on the in around to Cisneros. Check that, looks like the carry is made by Levi Parks. Up ahead for a gain of, call it, 5. And brings out 2nd and 5. For the Whiteland offense, their offensive line looks like this. Mitchell Ashbrook, Greg Jones, Garrett Curtis, Garrett Crothers, and TJ Singh. Quarterback is Jace Carpenter, the senior, 5'9", 175. The wide receivers, Charlie Ogega and Joe Leister. Carpenter goes under center, stands with 2 running backs behind him, 2 receivers, 1 in motion. Motion man takes it on the end around jet sweep, crosses the 25, and that's about it. And that man was Ogega on the jet sweep. We will see Whiteland run the jet sweep quite frequently here tonight. So those go-to targets are going to be Charlie Ogega, but like I said, you'll see him running the jet sweep more than you will actually receiving the ball. Tight end is Bailey Watson, really just a blocker. Their main core is their running back core, Eddie Cisneros, Levi Parks, Jake Perry, and Anthony Shantz. We'll get to Plainfield's defense here momentarily. Carpenter goes under center, 1 running back behind him, 1 receiver wide to the right, 1 man in motion. Handoff goes to the man in motion, that's Cisneros, and he's hit right away and driven back. Hit applied that time by among others, Emmanuel Walker, as well as, I believe, Jackson Deal. So that'll force a punt from Whiteland as they send out the punting unit. The punter is Jacob Belaine, the junior, 5'10", 164. Back deep to return is, well, it's not L.J. Verdon. We'll see who it is here momentarily. Elaine's punt is up. It's short and bounces straight out of bounds after crossing into Plainfield territory at about the 46, looks like where they might spot it. Back deep to return was actually, it was Logan Verdon, who goes by LJ. Do apologize for that. Well, we've already talked about this Plainfield offense. Let's talk about the Whiteland defense, as it's 1st and 10 from where the ball went out of bounds, which is the 45 of Whiteland. Whiteland's defense is Logan Kidwell, Camden Lilly, Ryder Emberton, and Austin Cook on that defensive line. We'll get to the linebackers here momentarily. Slayton stands in the pistol, sends 2 men in motion, 2 receivers either side. Slayton takes it, hands off to Gadia, who kind of tripped after he received the ball, made a cut early. There is a Plainfield player down. I believe it is a lineman. Check that. Might be Brady Adams. I can't really see the number from here, but we'll find out momentarily. Let's go ahead and finish the Whiteland defense. The linebacker core is Ryan Hahn, Logan Mullenix, the senior, 6'1", 235. Cameron Kiampa, the junior, 5'9", 175. And Jared Clean, the 5'8", senior. The secondary is as follows. Shimon Ogega, the senior, 5'11", 150. Tanner Malam, the 6', 160 junior. And Anthony Shantz, the 5'9", 190 senior. Really, Emberton and Shantz are their two most, shall we say, all-star players on defense. Emberton comes into this one 38 tackles, 2 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 5 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, and 1 touchdown on that defensive line for the Warriors. And Shantz has 17 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and 3 fumble recoveries. So you look at that, this is a defense that is at least stacked at those 2 positions. And it is Brady Adams slowly being helped onto his feet and walking off on his own power, so that is good to see. As he walks, he seems to comes easier for him each step he takes, so that's also a good sign. Plainfield home crowd is full. It is a pink out here, all the students wearing pink for breast cancer awareness. It is also senior night. The football players and cheerleaders that were seniors were honored before the game. Band will be during halftime. Slayton takes it, looks to throw, looking right, and that one's almost picked off. That was a gift, but unable to haul it in was Whiteland's own Cameron Kiampa. That one was gift wrapped by Slayton. So that brings out 3rd and 9. Ball is on the Whiteland 44. Temperatures will be in the lower 70s for tonight. Right now, it's about 73. 15% chance of rain, but I don't think that's going to happen. Whistles blow this play dead, and it'll be a false start against Plainfield, so that'll back them up even further. Winds were gusting up to about 12 miles per hour on the way in. The flags show that the wind is still blowing out of the northwest. Some of the keys for tonight match Whiteland's energy. Try and catch them napping and win that turnover battle. And for Slayton, you got to look downfield to attack this defense. Go vertical and try and throw long passes. It'll be a test for him here tonight. So it'll be, call it 3rd and 14 from the Whiteland 49. High snap. Slayton brings it down, fakes the Gaddy, has pressure, rolling away from it, looking, evades it, still looking, and that'll be it. He won't get back to the original line of scrimmage. Took a big hit along the way. So that'll bring out the punting unit. Out there to punt it away for Plainfield is John Hagee. He's a senior, 6 foot, 145. Back deep to return is Ogega. Hagee takes it, puts a low snap into it, rolls at the 20, keeps rolling, takes a Plainfield bounce deep into Whiteland territory, into about the 5-yard line. So good punt that time from Hagee. So it's 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Ball's on their own 4-yard line. The entire distance of the field staring them in the face. Carpenter will go under center. Man in motion. Carpenter fakes twice. Handoff goes to, I believe that was Cisneros, the ball carrier. And he'll get a couple. Make that only one. So it's 2nd and 9. Really narrow numbering on the Warriors' jerseys. We'll try and do my best. Carpenter goes under center once again. 2 receivers either side. It's a pitch out, and he's swallowed up whole as he gets to the line. Couple of Plainfield players there for the hit, including Bryce Biddle and Emmanuel Walker. So I'll bring out 3rd and call it 7. Ball on Whiteland's own. I believe they've placed it on the 6 or 7. Carpenter under center. Leister and Ogega either side. Man in motion is Cisneros. Handoff goes to Cisneros, and he's hit after a gain of a couple. That'll bring out 4th down and force a punt. So right now it's been a game of field position and who can get in the better position to actually make a touchdown in offensive play. Whiteland's coached by Darren Fisher in his 11th year, 85-49, 2 sectional titles, one back in 2013, the other in 14. They're currently ranked 8th in Class 5A, average about 29 points per game, but give up 28. Belaine set to kick it away, puts a leg into it, and that one will also drift out of bounds. So 2nd punt for Belaine that drifted out of bounds. We'll wait and see where they spot it. Looks to be about, I call it the 38 of Plainfield. And so Plainfield's offense will get another crack. Plainfield is coached by Brian Woodard in his 10th year, 65-50. They're averaging close to 29 points per game, but only giving up 22 points per game. They're ranked 11th in 5A. 2 receivers near side for Slayton. He'll hand off to Gadia, though. He goes up the middle for a gain of, call it 3. Maybe 4. Check that, call that 4. So it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Quakers. Man in motion. Handoff is given to that man. That's Dante Keys. He looks for room to work with on the outside. Continues to cut it. Looking for room to work with. And late hit applied to him by Anthony Shantz, and the flag comes out. Keys did a good job working that outside corner, waiting for the man in front of him to continue blocking downfield, but Shantz came in and hit him after he had already crossed out of bounds. So tack on the extra yardage at the end of that run. So that brings out 1st and 10, ball on the 38 of Whiteland. Slayton in the shotgun, and it's off to Gaddia. Gaddia has blockers in front of him, looking for more room to work with on the outside. Slips once again as he got to the line of scrimmage. Was able to continue to push forward for a gain of, call it 1, and that'll bring out 2nd and 9. Two receivers come near side, Ritter and Keys. Slayton in the pistol. He'll hand off to Burton. Don will work his way forward up ahead for a gain of, call it 4. And I'll bring out 3rd and 6. Ritter goes wide to the right. Keys comes near side. Slayton stands in the pistol. Don behind him. Man in motion's Keys. Handoff goes to Don. Puts his head down, but he's going to be wrapped up very quickly. Good penetration that time from Whiteland. And that'll stop the Quaker offensive drive. Hagee comes on for his 3rd punt of the night. I'll check that. They're actually going to leave the offense on. Based on the field position, it makes sense. Punt would just pin Whiteland deep, and you're out of field goal range, so you might as well go for it. Two receivers come near side, 2 go wide to the right. Slayton has a man in motion. That's Keys. Fakes handoff to Gaddia, looking for Keys. Catches it beautifully, but it's sniffed out by Whiteland, and Logan Mullenix will get the hit on Keys. Mullenix, the senior, 6'1", 235. Came into this game, 53 tackles on the season, and had 3 tackles for loss and make that 4. Mullenix read that beautifully. It was a good catch by Keys, but in the end, play was just one step ahead by Whiteland. So it's 1st and 10 for the Warriors. 2 receivers near side, nobody wide to the left. Carpenter has 2 running backs behind him. Man in motion. Handoff is, well, it's given to a Whiteland Warrior. We'll wait and see what his number is at the bottom of the pile. It's Jake Perry who had the carry. Whiteland's offense, you'll see them fake the handoffs a couple different times before they actually figure out who's going to be running the ball. Really and truly, it's a all rush or nothing for Whiteland. And they have gone to the air. It has not worked out for them. Carpenter on the year has 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Man in motion. After a couple of fake handoff, it's on the end around with room to work with. Cutting back inside, crossing the 45 is number 19. Preston Phillips. So that's 1st and 10 now for the Warriors. I think that's their first down of the night. 2 receivers come near side, nobody wide to the left. Carpenter will go under center. Man in motion is Phillips. Looking to throw his Carpenter. Has room to work with, and that's Listener, who will catch it for a pretty big gain of about, call it 13, into Plainfield territory at Plainfield zone 40. So that'll be 1st and 10. And after the end of one, 0-0 is the score. Neither team really getting much of an advantage on the other. Both these teams pretty evenly matched, as we talked about coming into this game. Both 4-3 on the season, tied for the second place in Mid-State. And really and truly, you look at their offensive numbers. Both these teams score about 29 points per game. Whiteland gives up a couple more points per game than Plainfield, but other than that, two very evenly matched teams. For more than 2 decades, Wicker Construction has engaged in building one-of-a-kind homes and remodeling projects while exceeding client expectations, delivering projects with professionalism and integrity. Wicker Construction works closely with you, the client, to understand your lifestyle and construction needs. The Beacon Sign Company specializes in local high school sports and event signage needs. This is their 13th year supporting the Red Pride football program. They are located at 9305 East US Highway 36 in Avon. You can call 272-2388 for all your signage needs, or stop by Monday through Friday from 9 to 6. Teams will switch sides. It's 1st and 10 for the Warriors on Plainfield's own 40. Carpenter goes under center. He has 3 receivers stacked up to the right, 1 running back behind him. Man in motion is delivered to that person. That's Cisneros on the carry, looking for room to work with. Can't find anything, and eventually swallowed up by 3 Quakers. Cisneros kept looking for room to work with on that near side, but in the end just did not find anything developing. And Plainfield just continued in pursuit and got there. So I'll bring out 2nd and call it 12. One receiver near side, 1 wide to the right. Carpenter has 2 running backs behind him. One of them is Cisneros. Man in motion. And Cisneros gets it on the handoff right up the middle. He has room to work with, continuing to evade tackles all the way into the red zone as he crosses the 20 up ahead to the 18. I'll actually mark him down at the 19. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Plainfield 19 for Whiteland, as Cisneros found room to work with straight up the middle. That time Cisneros didn't wait for anything to develop. He just took the initiative and ran it straight up the gut and found plenty of room to work with. 2 to the right, 1 near side. I keep calling them receivers. I don't know if I really should anymore. Carpenter goes under center. Man in motion. Carpenter fakes the handoff, hands off once again. Cisneros up the middle. And this time only a minimal gain. Well, looks like they're actually going to get about 4 out of that carry. So they'll bring out 2nd and 6. To either side. Carpenter wants to get under center, 2 running backs behind him. Sends 1 man in motion. Handoff goes to that man, looking for him to work with, and finds plenty of it and gets in for the touchdown. Touchdown was made by Phillips. So Whiteland gets first blood here tonight and gets an early 6-0 lead. Belaine on to try the point after. Belaine on the year, 23 of 24. And he puts this one up and in. So with 10:15 to go in the second quarter, Whiteland gets the first score of the evening on a Phillips touchdown. And that was from about 13 yards out. And makes it 6-0. PAT good. I want to thank some more of our sponsors. Pizza King is located at 8100 East US Highway 36, Suite A in Avon. Their dining room is open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and carry-out is available from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Their phone number is 272-1707. Pizza King has a TV in every booth and a train that delivers drinks to each booth. Belaine set to kick it from the 40. Back to return for Plainfield is Keys and Burdon. Lane puts a leg into it. It's a very, very short kick. They fair catch it, and it falls on the ground. Plainfield trying to cover, and it looks like they do at the 30. That was a dangerous play. I know Chase Spears for Plainfield put his hand up and tried to fair catch it, but that was just such a short kick. No one really expected that. I don't know if that was intended or not. Like I said, the wind is blowing from the northwest. I don't think it would have affected it that much, but either way, Slayton has it in the pistol. Two receivers to his left, one near side. Slayton fakes the handoff, looks to throw, has a man up the middle. That's Ritter. Ritter putting on the afterburners. 30, 20, 10, touchdown. So Gavin Ritter quickly evens the score from the pass from Slayton. And just like that, it's a 7-6 ball game pending the point after. That was a very, very long play from about the 30s, so 70-yard play. And that Hagee kick up and in makes it 7-0. So we're all tied up here at Plainfield. Elite Pro Painting is a small family-owned painting company. Elite Pro Painting does exterior and interior painting, both residential and commercial. They're open weekdays from 8 to 6 and Saturday 9 to 1. Their phone number is 388-1848. More information can be found by email at info@elitepropainting.com. Jimmy John's offers freaky fast delivery and our last-minute catering specialist. They're located at 2683 East Main Street next to BW3s and are open from 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Saturday. More information can be found at 837-8282 or online at www.jimmyjohns.com. So just like that, it's all even up. 10:02 left to go in the second quarter, 7-all tie here at Plainfield. Hagee set to kick this one away. Ogega and Shantz back deep to return for Whiteland. Hagee puts a leg into it. This one's a great kick, aided by that wind. And that one's all the way out of the back of the end zone. Wind blowing kind of across the field in a... shall we say, from the near hash to the outside hash, but also going, as we talked about, northwest. So Whiteland on trying to get this game back even again. They used the legs of Phillips last time, but like I said, they have a plethora of running backs. This time it's Cisneros. Crosses the 20, but that's about it. Check that. That carry was actually, yeah, that one was Cisneros. So a gain of a couple, so it brings out 2nd and 8 for the Warriors. Two receivers go near far side, no one near side. Two running backs behind Carpenter. Man in motion, it's a pass, and this one's way too low. And that's incomplete. intended target that time was Leicester. So that brings out 3rd and 8. Ball still on the 22 of Plainfield. Or check that, of Whiteland, excuse me. Ball's currently placed on the near hash. Three receivers wide to the right for Whiteland. Still trying to get the formation correct as they are shifting. Carpenter takes it, looking, rolling to his right, throwing, has a man downfield. That pass was completed to Evan Hillman, the junior, 5'8", 140 pounds. Makes it 1st and 10. Leicester near side. Ogega wide right. Carpenter stands with 2 running backs behind him. Handoff on that jet sweep play is faked by, wasn't the jet sweep play. It was actually ran up the middle by Cisneros. And he'll get ahead for a couple. Brings out 2nd and 8. Keep an eye on the ball, JP. Keep an eye on the ball. I'll tell you who's actually carrying it. But I'm also trying to look at their number as they come across the formation. Does not make it easy. Carpenter goes under center once again. Ogega in motion. Here he has it. Check that. That's Phillips. Phillips cutting back as he crosses the 40. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down marker. That'll bring out 3rd down. Preston Phillips getting a lot of the work here tonight. So that brings out a 3rd and call it 4 for Whiteland. Carpenter under center, sends Phillips in motion. Plainfield almost jumped. Now Phillips back in motion the other way. Handoff goes up the middle. He'll be stopped short. The ball carrier that time was Levi Parks. And that'll bring out 4th and short. Carpenter talking with Fisher on the sidelines. There, it looks like they might just go for it. And looks like Whiteland's going to take a timeout. They're going to talk it over. So they used their first timeout, and that actually helps Plainfield out. I know they were having, I know Emmanuel Walker at one point ran on the field, but it helps Plainfield. They're able to talk it over and decide how they best want to approach this 4th down play. And Allen Kinnaman provides total financial management for all your investment, insurance, accounting, and tax planning needs. They're located at 2680 East Main Street, Suite 124 in Plainfield. Meetings can be arranged by appointment by calling 203-4433. More information can be found at www.gkfin.com. Welcome back to Plainfield High School, where the game is all tied up at 7 apiece. 7:08 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Whiteland set to go for it on a 4th down play. And now it looks like they are actually going to punt, as Belaine on there to punt it away. His punts have been really short here tonight. Surprised Burdon is playing his, and it's actually a fake, and Whiteland's going to get it easily. Whiteland played some trickery, and Plainfield fell asleep and fell for it. And they'll get the 1st down on that fake. So it's 1st and 10 on the 50. Two receivers either side for Carpenter. Goes under center. Man in motion. Given to that man. Number 48 breaking tackles on the far side. That player was number 48, Evan Hillman. So that brings out 2nd and call it 4. 6:05 left to go in the second quarter. One receiver near side. Man in motion's Phillips. Carpenter takes it, fakes, keeps it himself. Looking for him to work with. Crosses the first down marker. Up ahead to about the 42-43. And that's good enough for a first down. Whiteland continues to move the chains here. Not sure if Carpenter, if that was a designed quarterback keeper or not. Either way, Carpenter rushes ahead for the first down. Carpenter on the year, 31 carries for 108 yards as well as 3 rushing touchdowns. Carpenter under center. Sends a man in motion. That's Phillips. Handoff is given to Phillips, looking for him on the outside. And he'll get ahead for, call it 4, maybe 5. I'll give him 5, so it's 2nd and 5. Whiteland really starting to huddle up here. Using up a majority of the play clock. It's down to 10 seconds now. Man in motion. Fake, given to Cisneros. It goes up the middle, and he'll be short of the first down marker. So we call it 3rd and 2. Tyler Mark's a little slow to get up, but is able to get up. Third and 2. Whiteland sends 2 receivers near side, no one wide to the right. Carpenter under center, 1 running back stands behind him. And Plainfield is going to take a timeout to talk things over. For more than 2 decades, Wicker Construction is engaged in building one-of-a-kind homes and remodeling projects while exceeding client expectations, delivering projects with professionalism and integrity. Wicker Construction works closely with you, the client, to understand your lifestyle and construction needs. Beacon Sign Company specializes in local high school sports and event signage needs. This is their 13th year supporting the Red Pride football program. They are located at 9305 East U.S. Highway 36 in Avon. You can call 272-2388 for all your signage needs or stop by Monday through Friday from 9 to 6. Pizza King is located at 8100 East U.S. Highway 36, Suite A in Avon. Their dining room is open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and carryout is available from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Their phone number is 272-1707. Pizza King has a TV in every booth and a train that delivers drinks to each booth. Third down play here, upcoming for Whiteland, 3rd and 2. 4:42 left to go in the second quarter. I'm J.P. Sinclair. This is AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield varsity football. Two receivers near side. Carpenter has 1 running back behind him. Man in motion. And it's faked and given up the middle. And he'll get the first down and then some. I didn't see who the ball carrier is quite yet. Still can't see his number from here. I'm wearing my glasses, folks, I promise. Ball carrier was Mitchell Ashbrook. That's not right. That's an offensive lineman. Numbers are just so narrow on Whiteland's uniforms. Either way, it's first and 10. Carpenter under center, man in motion. Pitch out is handed to Cisneros. Cisneros puts his head down as he crosses the line of scrimmage and plows ahead for about 7. So it'll bring out, check that, they're only going to give him 6, so it's 2nd and 4. And Cisneros is still on the field. He'll sit up and work his way up, but took him a moment. And he'll quickly jog off the field under his own power. Still an official's timeout for him being down for a minute. Temperatures continue to droop a little bit. Might have to put on my jacket pretty soon. That's how I know. Not that I'm a meteorologist by any stretch of the measure. Carpenter under center. Pitch out goes to the right side. He crosses the first down marker. The ball carrier that time was Anthony Shantz. Not really too sure how you go and try and attack this Whiteland offense. I mean, the ball can go to any number of offensive players from the skill position. Try and bring everybody, but then you leave yourself open to screens. And they do a good job blocking up front. Ball carrier that time for Whiteland was number 48, Logan Kidwell. Or excuse me, Evan Heelman, number 48. Feel a little bit better. Heard the PA announcer says it's hard to read their numbers, so I don't feel quite so bad anymore. Carpenter under center, one man in motion. On the pitch out is Cisneros, is back in there. He dives in for the end zone. Did he make it? And he'll still be short. So it's 3rd and goal from, call it the 1. Like I was saying, it's so hard. You can't really play man-to-man with that sweep. You kind of got to play coverage, but then you're playing soft. But you also got to keep in mind that they're probably not going to throw it. Really kind of got to stack the box and have really good gap coverage against Whiteland. Quarterback keeper, and he'll be stopped short. So it'll be 4th and goal from the 1. We'll see if Whiteland chooses to go for it here. All indications so far is that they will. Want to apologize once again for the technical difficulties. Our broadcast is, shall we say, tape delayed tonight. It'll just be archived due to internet difficulties. Handoff is given up the middle, and this time they get there. So 4th down, it pays off for Whiteland, and they'll tack on some more points. Still have no clue who the ball carrier was. So I couldn't mark it on my scoring summary if I wanted to. But either way, we'll mark it down as Whiteland. 1 yard out. Makes it 13-7. And Belaine on for the PAT. It's up and good. There is a flag down, so they might re-kick it here. We'll wait and see. It's a personal foul against Plainfield, so it'll be assessed on the kickoff. So the personal foul assessed on the kickoff. Elite Pro Painting is a small family-owned painting company. Elite Pro Painting does exterior and interior painting, both residential and commercial. They're open weekdays from 8 to 6 and Saturday 9 to 1. Their phone number is 388-1848. More information can be found by email at info@elitepropainting.com. And with the penalty, it'll be kicked off at the 45. Levi Parks had it from the 1 yard line. We'll get out to some other stats here momentarily. Plainfield has to be aware of possibly an onside kick given the field position. The wind is going against them. That is Whiteland going against Whiteland. And that one falls. The football falls off. In the NFL, they can try to tee it up twice, and if it doesn't work, they'll have to have a player come and hold it. And so far, it looks like it's going to be staying on. So Belaine will get set to kick this one. Puts his leg into it, and it'll be fielded in the end zone for the touchback. So for rushing for Whiteland, as we talked about, is the kind of their staple. 28 rushes for 128 yards. Plainfield only has 12 for 26. Time of possession heavily favored in Whiteland's favor, 15 minutes to only 6:46 for Plainfield. 2 of 2 on fourth down conversions also for Whiteland. Get some more statistics here momentarily. Slayton on now. 2 receivers wide to the left, 1 near side. He'll stand in the pistol with Gavian right beside him. And that pass is behind the intended target of Keys, who tried to stretch out for it, but defense was there, applied by Shimano Gega. Now bring out second down. Cisneros has 11 carries for 49 yards net. One receiver either side for Plainfield. Handoff goes up the middle and gets about 8 before he's finally pushed back. That is Gadia on that carry. So 3rd and 2 from, call it, the 28. Slayton so far, 2 of 6, 83 yards. Gadia once again looking for room and doesn't get anything. Gets back to the original line, and now bring out 4th down. And they're talking about it. Punt unit and offensive units both on the field. Whiteland will take the timeout, so that gives Plainfield a little bit more time to talk it over. Rushing the ball, Dante Keyes has 3 rushes for 14 yards, or check that, 12 yards net. Gaddy has 6 rushes for 9 yards. Ritter has 2 catches for 83 yards and the touchdown. That long of 70, though, helps. Leading 6 men lead the tackle count for Plainfield. Herschel Blankenship, Michael Papas, and Tyler Marks each have 6. Current score here in the second quarter, minute 02 left to go, 14-7 in favor of Whiteland. And Hagee on, looks like they will punt it away. Hagee takes it, puts a leg into it, high snap, and it's fielded at about the 35. Ball carrier goes to the right, crosses the 50, but that's about it. Number 21 was the ball carrier. That is Garrett Clean. And Whiteland will take over there. Whiteland only has 1 timeout left. Plainfield with 2. Ball's placed on the Plainfield 49. Imagine Whiteland will probably milk the clock. Try and score if they can with a minute to go. It's actually only 51 seconds now. 2 receivers near side. Carpenter looks to throw, rolling to his left, throws across his body, and it's completed up to the 35. Pass was caught by Jake Ramey, 5'8", 145 sophomore. First and 10. Clock continues to roll here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 near side, 1 running back behind Carpenter. Carpenter looks to throw again. Rolling, sets up the screen. Cisneros has it in the open field. He's dangerous, 20, 15. And that's where he'll be stopped. Well within field goal territory now for Belaine. Clock stops as they set it. Now clock continues to move. Under 20 seconds now. Whiteland gets up on the ball. Chance to run one more play. Pitch out goes to Cisneros. Looks for room. Gets to about the 10, but that'll be about all. And clock is not stopped and needs to stop. But Whiteland will take that timeout with a minute .8 and send on the field goal unit. Jimmy John's offers freaky fast delivery and our last-minute catering specialist. They are located at 2683 East Main Street next to BW3s and open from 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Saturday. More information can be found at 837-8282 or online at www.jimmyjohns.com. Blaine on to kick it away. Ball will be placed on the right hash. Or not. There's the snap. Kick is up. And it's good. So that'll be the end of the half as the field goal makes it a 10-point game in favor of Whiteland. So 7-17 in favor of Whiteland at the half. We'll take a quick timeout, calculate some stats, and go over stats as well as first half recap and scoring summary, and we'll also try and look at some scores around the state. The marching band comes on to do their thing here at halftime, and they'll also, the seniors anyway, will be honored for senior night here. But we'll take a quick time out. You're listening to AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield varsity football on AudioSportsOnline.com.
Defensively,
.com.
Once again, at this time, we'll say hello to Brian Woodard, the head coach of your Plainfield Quakers. Coach, how's it going?
I'm doing well. And yourself, Rob?
Doing just great. I got to be very pleased with the way your team played Friday night, especially second half of the ball game.
Yeah, it was a very interesting set of circumstances as far as how the game started, and we had a little bit of a weather delay. Gosh, we really played well in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden in the second quarter, it kind of got a little bit nightmarish, especially defensively, where that's concerned, and then really kind of came out in the second half and did a lot of really good things offensively and defensively. So it was a weird game from that standpoint, because it wasn't a back and forth kind of deal. Started well, let it go, and then, like I said, able to find our footing in the second half.
Yeah, take us through what it's like when a game begins like that, a couple of plays, and then you got to pull the kids off the wheel.
Well, that was, we've had plenty of delays over the years, as recently as last year at Mooresville. This was the first time I'd ever been involved in a delay where, we come out, we have a kickoff return play, we have a first down play, a second down play, lightning strikes, and boom, we're in the locker room. So, you at that point in time, you really don't know, what to really talk about. Obviously we talked about what we were going to run on third down. We got that play, and we were able to execute that play and then pick up the first down and then go in and score. So that was good. But, normally in a delay situation, you got lots of things to talk about, lots of adjustments you can make. You're going to have position meetings with your players. It's a full-on, mental practice, breakdown, evaluation, coaches meeting, the whole deal, and that span of, whatever it is, at least 30 minutes. But in this particular case, we didn't really have a whole lot of intel at that point, so it was just a lot of standing around for most of that time. But our kids, I thought, handled it well, and obviously we were able to come out, get the first down, and go on in and score.
But I imagine it also gets a little warm in there, right, with all those kids and pads?
Yeah, it does. And last year when we were at Mooresville, any former players listening or players that were there last year will remember their locker rooms are so very small. We had a few guys that had some heat issues just being in the locker room. This past Friday, Franklin has better facilities in that respect. And it was still pretty warm in there. So, for us to have the chance to just have a 30-minute delay and not for it to be, an hour and a half or 2 hours was very, very nice, very good.
Well, obviously, once the game got rolling again, it was closed for a while, but you guys really turned it on as the game went on. What was really the spark that got the kids going?
Well, a couple things. First off, we were playing really well early. And Franklin was a good football team. People look at their record, and they're always used to hearing me say, "Oh, they're a good football team. They're better than the record indicates," and all those kind of things. But this was a team that had shown, and I think I might have said this on last week's show, that plays really well early. And they were down 10-0 against Columbus North, who's a phenomenal football team. So we knew that we had our hands full. But so we're first quarter, we're up 10-0. We go to punt the ball, and just it wasn't anyone's fault. We got a bad one off. We rugby punted, and it came off of John's foot wrong, and it goes for literally no yards. And so they're like plus 30 going in, and they score, and that makes it 10-7, and that changes the complexion of the game. They go on to score 20 points, and we're down. We're trailing in this game, and there wasn't really any one thing that sparked this. I think more than anything, it was just the fact that we executed better on defense, in the second half. We made some adjustments at halftime. I'm very proud of our defensive staff for making those adjustments and getting things figured out. And our kids just played. And as they started to do that, we got some turnovers. We fed on the momentum, and it kind of steamrolled a little bit. But, we go on to score, several touchdowns in the second half. We score 5 touchdowns in the second half to their 1. And that's a tribute to our defense getting turnovers and our offense, answering the bell as far as, going on and scoring.
Yeah, you mentioned the I think it was 5-1 was the ratio there when you guys were able to put the game away. Do you tell the kids they've got to do something different, or do they just sort of pick up on that stuff on their own?
Well, like I said, I think the adjustments we made, those are the things that you want to do different, and it's hard because like I said, in this game we had success early, so what changed? And it's momentum. Franklin found a little momentum, and all of a sudden we found ourselves in a situation where we were in a dogfight, and it was going to be a matter of who made enough plays to kind of swing that momentum. And obviously, that was us. So I don't think you really tell them anything. It's just a matter of, listen, you guys have to go out and execute your assignments. And if you do that, you do enough, you make enough plays, then you're going to win the football game. Because that's really what it boils down to, right? I mean, there's going to be a certain amount of plays in any Friday night that are critical, very important plays. And if you win enough of those plays, you're going to win the football game. And that's what we did. Even Franklin drove the ball in the second half, but they would have a bad pitch, or we would strip the ball out. And those were those critical plays that we won, and they didn't. And that's why you see the score that you see.
It's probably also nice for you because you guys, at least early on in the year, were very strong in the first half, struggled in the second half a little bit, and it was nice to see a reversal of that where the kids really came out in the second half and with a little bit of adversity were able to play well.
That's absolutely true. We saw 2 weeks ago at the Decatur Central game where we were never able to find our footing at all in that game, and really struggled to play through our mistakes. Obviously, and this is no discredit to Franklin, but Decatur Central have better football players than Franklin did. But still, to see kids struggle, fail, and then play through those mistakes and then come out on the other end, hopefully that's a little bit of a growing moment for some of them, that we realize mistakes are going to happen on Friday nights. Players make them, coaches make them, but as long as you stay the course, you trust the plan, you trust the scheme, you can still have success. I was very proud of our players for doing that.
I love your tweets on post-game tweets. I can always tell when I'm not at the game how the team did before I ever look at the score or watch the broadcast, listen to the broadcast. You were very enthusiastic on Friday night after this win. What was it about it that had you so fired up?
Well,
welcome back to Plainfield High School, where Plainfield is trailing the Whiteland Warriors 17-7 at the half. I'm JP Sinclair. Let's go ahead and break down a little bit of the first half. Scoring summary was as follows. Whiteland got us started. Preston Phillips, an 11-yard run. Jacob Belane's kick was good. Capped off a 7-play, 63-yard drive. Took 3 minutes off the clock. That was at 10:15 in the second quarter. Put Whiteland up 7-0. Plainfield got right back on it. Not even 7 seconds later on the Gavin Ritter 70-yard pass from Ben Slayton. John Higgie's extra point was good. It was a 1-play, 70-yard drive. Made it a 7-all tie. And then there was no score until the 1:50-minute mark in the second quarter. Levi Parks got a 1-yard run. Jacob Belane's kick was good. Capped off an 18-play, 80-yard drive. Took 8 minutes off the clock. Put Whiteland up 14-7. And then Whiteland had the field goal at the end of the second quarter. It was a 27-yard field goal. Capped off a 4-play, 39-yard drive. And that made the score 17-7. That's how we got to our current score. Some of the other statistics, rushing so far has been the key for Whiteland. 29 rush rushes for 132 net yards. Plainfield, on the other hand, 14 rushes for 34. The leading rusher for Plainfield is Tavian Gadia. He had 8 carries for 17 yards. Ben Slayton is 2 of 6 for 83 yards and touchdown. Both of those receptions went to Gavin Ritter, one of them for the touchdown from 70 out. Michael Papas and Tyler Marks lead the tackles for Plainfield. Edwin Cisneros has 53 yards on 12 carries. Phillips 30 on 4, and Evan Hillman 21 on 3 for Whiteland. Chase Carpenter for the Whiteland Warriors, 4 of 5, 62 yards. Evan Hillman is the leading receiver. He has 2 receptions for 28 yards, and their leading tackler is Ryan Hahn. So that kind of paints the picture of the first half for the Whiteland and Plainfield. Let's go and see if we can pull up some scores from around the state, get you updated on what's going out and about around there. Eastbrook leads Alexandria 21-7. Clinton Central leads Attica by 1, 22-21 at the half. Avon dominating Zionsville in HCC play, 26-7. Ben Davis leads Lawrence Central by 1, 14-13 is the score there in the second quarter. Brownsburg blanketing Noblesville. How about the season from the Brownsburg Bulldogs so far? 14-0 is that score. Clinton Prairie leads North White by 10, 16-6. Delta up on Greenfield Central, 14-6. Cascade, another Hendricks County team, leads Edgewood 20-13 at the half. Edinburgh trails Westdale 26-16. Fishers leads Westfield 10-2 in the second. Mishawaka leads Frankton 22-0. East Central blanketing Greensburg 28-0 at the half. Greenwood up by 1 against Franklin Community 15-14. That's another mid-state game. Hagerstown up over Union Central 25-6. Wabanese Valley leads Hamilton Southeastern 14-0. Heritage Christian leading Howell 20-7 in the second. Indiana Duff leads Model Deaf 29-0. Lapel leads Knightstown 27-0. Harrison up over Kokomo 7-0. Center Grove leads Lawrence North by a score of 7-0. Lawrenceburg blanketing Connorsville 14-0 in the second. Score at Logansport. They're losing to Lafayette Jeff 34-0. Madison Grant leads Oak Valley by 6 in the second. Marion leads Tech 7-0. The Plainfield team drew Tech in the sectionals. So keep an eye on Tech scores moving forward. McCutcheon leads Munsing Central 21-7. Monroe Central leads Anderson Prep Academy 27-0. Monrovia taking it to Park Tudor. 49-0 is the score there, and they're not even at the half yet. Martinsville leads Mooresville 17-0. Martinsville on a terrible, terrible losing streak, looking to get off that 0-17 schneid that dates back a couple seasons now. Looks like they might get that one win there. Another reason to keep an eye on that game is that's who Plainfield play next week is Martinsville. New Pal leads Newcastle 21-0. Pike leads North Central 21-12. 14-6 is the score. North Montgomery up over Frankfort. North Putnam leads Greencastle 17-14. Carroll leads Northwestern 21-7. Pendleton Heights up over Yorktown 7-0. Anderson and Richmond in a close one 7-6. Roncalli is taking it to Decatur Central 19-0. Milan leads Scottsburg 60-0 in the second. Lebanon up over Southmont 20-13. 34-6 is the score. Southport up over Bloomington North. Sheridan leads Taylor 7-6 in the first. Terre Haute South and Franklin Central, one touchdown score there, 7-0 in favor of Terre Haute. Triton Central leads Beech Grove 14-7. Twin Lakes leads West Lafayette 13-8. Warren Central is up over Carmel currently 19-14. Sullivan leads West Vigo 21-7 at the half. Western leads Hamilton Heights 15-6, and Danville up over Western Boone 21-7. Those are some scores from around the state. We'll take another quick break and get set to bring you the third quarter. You're listening to AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield varsity football.
I just think winning, after you have a really tough, week, and it was a tough week. We had some things happening that it's just nature of the beast of going through a football season. And I was worried about this game because I knew going on the road playing at Franklin, I knew they were a good football team. We only talk about it. You get a few guaranteed games in the season. And at this point in the season, you're down to just a handful, right? So just seeing our kids have success, seeing how enthusiastic they were, seeing how much fun they were having, that's why we do this. Obviously high school guys aren't doing it for the money. So, seeing our guys have success is always, just a neat feeling.
Yeah, you probably look at this team, and I know we've talked about it before, but you look at it and say, hey, 4-3 could very easily be 6-1.
Yeah, no question. This is a good football team, and we have not played our best football yet. I think whenever Dawson Anderson returns to us, hopefully it's kind of a week-to-week thing at this point. Hopefully it'll be this week. He's a fantastic football player, and when you add a guy like that back into the mix, that gives you a little boost, and I'm excited to see that. I think defensively, we're continuing to find some depth, playing some younger guys in some places that you would think that would make you a stronger football team. So it's a good team. Like I said, we've not played our best football yet. Hopefully that happens before time runs out on us, because that's not a guarantee. Just because you progress through the season, it doesn't mean you're going to play your best football at the end of the year. You hope you are. And that's always what we built towards. You don't ever want to play your best football early, but when you play it, but you hope you're improving as the year goes along, and I think we are.
Okay, so real quick before we get to this Friday night, I want to get your thoughts on the sectional draw. I want to congratulate you on your draw, but however, that means I've got to drive to Indianapolis Tech, so I don't know whether I should congratulate you or not, but
sure.
You're tough on the draw.
Well, it's funny. I told our coaches, I said, if you want to text me, that's fine, you can, but I'm probably going to be laying down in bed, and I didn't even watch the selection show. And you're like, why would you do that? Like, well, you got 3 other teams in the session with you. It doesn't really matter what it is. You have zero control over it. My life this morning is no different than it was yesterday, whether we drew Tech or Zionsville or Decatur Central. That said, I love playing at Tech High School. That we've not played there since '06. It's just a phenomenal place to play with the backdrop of the city of Indianapolis in the background. I'm excited to go back there. I'm excited for our kids. I have no clue anything about Tech other than what their record is and who they played. Obviously, by record, they're a team that is the weakest in our sectional. But again, I don't know what that means. I don't know what their schedule entails. I know they got beat big by Ben Davis early, but like I said, I'm excited to get a chance to play there. It's a place we've not been in a long time, and it's a neat venue.
So you don't watch the show?
I didn't this year. No, I didn't. It's one of those things where I sat there the past couple of years, and my stomach is turning, and I'm nervous. And this year, what are you nervous about? What's there to be nervous about? And I said, I'm just not going to watch, because there's nothing. There wasn't anything for me to be gained. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that was my attitude. I told the kids, and I believe it. Our draw is going to be the perfect draw, because that's the draw that we get. And so yeah, I didn't watch. I wanted to be a man of my word relative to that respect, and honestly, it was my.
That was segments of the coaches interview. We do the coaches interview, and it's archived on audiosportsonline.com every single week. The Brian Woodard Show is. Typically, we try and do that during the pregame show, but unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we never got around to playing it, and we still have not played it in its entirety. So, do apologize about that, but due to technical difficulties, I figured it was worthwhile to hear a little bit of it. As we get set to kick it away here, Aggie on to kick it away. It's a pooch kick, and it's fielded at about the 15, and taken ahead to the 30. We'll get a ball carrier here momentarily, hopefully. I believe that was Ogega on the return. Either way, it'll be 1st and 10 for Whiteland on their own 31-yard line. Carpenter leads them out on the field. Cisneros is on the right side of the formation. 2 receivers to the left. Carpenter under center. 1 running back behind him. Man in motion. And it's given up the middle. Get a ball carry here momentarily. Carry is for 3 yards. Still cannot see a number on that ball carrier. And based on where he's standing in the formation, I still can't see it. Either way, it'll be 2nd down now. Man coming in motion. Handoff goes to that man. Still cannot see a number on him. But either way, he's driven back. Carries made by number 48. That's Evan Hillman. It's hard to see those numbers coming across the formation, particularly from our vantage point, doing the best we can, particularly from like the side of it. Like you can make out some of them, but not all of them. Of course, that's the max zoom on the camera. So either way, it's 3rd and 7. Carpenter has a man in motion. Looks to throw, has pressure, and unable to bring him down the backfield. It's eventually dumped off to the left side on the screen. The pass was completed to, I think, number 10, Levi Parks. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Whiteland as they get to the 40, their own 42. Leister comes near side, 1 receiver to the left. Carpenter has 2 running backs standing behind him. Carpenter sends 1 man in motion. It's given up the middle to Cisneros. Cisneros crosses the 45 to the 50 and up ahead to the 46 of Plainfield. So once again, Whiteland comes out and continues to move the ball effectively on the ground. Plainfield has still not found an answer for the rushing attack of Whiteland. Two receivers wide to the left, no one near side. Carpenter under center, 2 running backs behind him. Man in motion. And Cisneros once again on the handoff, but this time gets a gain of 2 and then is immediately pushed back by Bryce Biddle. Biddle, the senior, 6'1", 260. As they continue to sort out and get bodies untangled on the pile. Brings out 2nd and call it 9 from the 45. Leister goes wide to the left. Hillman in the slot. Hillman the man in motion. Carpenter takes it, looking, hands off to Chance. Chance works his way up the middle with plenty of room, breaking tackles up ahead to the 35 before he's finally brought down by Andrew Zoss, who was pretty much the last man to beat. And Whiteland continues to get whatever they want on the ground against this Plainfield defense. Plainfield not normally known for giving up a lot on the ground, but kind of befuddled by the Whiteland sweep attack. Leister near side. 2 running backs behind Carpenter. 1 man in motion. It's given to that man. We'll get a number here in a second as he crosses the 20 up ahead to the 15. That's number 48. That's Hillman. So it's 1st and 10 from the 15. Winds continue to pick up. You can tell looking at the ref's pants among anything, the way it's blowing in the wind. Hillman near side. Carpenter under center sends Hillman in motion. Handoff is given to Hillman. And he looks for room to work with. Gets another gain of 10 before he's finally stopped at the Plainfield 9. So it's 2nd and 3. Carpenter once again under center. Another man in motion. Handoff is given on the end around. And leaping for the end zone and getting there is Preston Phillips for the second time tonight. And just like that, Whiteland starts to pour it on. Now 23-7 pending the point after. Blaine set to kick the PAT. And it's up and in. So Whiteland now up by a couple of scores. And Plainfield has some work ahead of them. Plainfield hasn't looked bad offensively. It's just a matter of they haven't been able to keep the offense on the field. They had a couple of 3-and-outs early that really stumbled their offense. They have been able to score quickly on quick passes, but the problem is just haven't been able to possess the ball, and when they do, it's either 3-and-out or a quick touchdown pass. Time of possession is hugely in favor of Whiteland right now. Blaine set to kick it away. Time of possession now in favor of Whiteland, 20 minutes to 7. A little bit of an indication. Blaine puts a leg into it. It's driven back, and it'll be out of the end zone for a touchback. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20. Ritter and Keys both on the right side. Slayton has it in the pistol. Gaddia stands behind him. Handoff is given to Gaddia, puts his head down, crosses the line, gets ahead for about 5, continues to push the pile. And that'll actually go ahead for a gain of, call it 7. It looked to be short to actually make that 8. It looked to be stopped a route after a gain of 5, but pile just continued to move forward, and Gaddia was able to get a couple more to make it 2nd and 2. Middleton goes wide to the right. Keys and Ritter come near side. Slayton has it with Gaddia standing to his left. Man in motion. Slayton takes it, looks to throw. Rolling, looking. Has Ritter in the soft spot of the defense, out of bounds at about the 45. They'll mark it at the 44, so nice gain there from Slayton to Ritter. Keys and Ritter come near side once again. Nobody wide to the right. Slayton, high snap, brings it down, hands off to Gaddia. Gaddia puts a head down and picks up about 3. Makes it 2nd and 7. Tackle made that time by Hahn for Whiteland. Hahn, the senior, 5'10", 170. Brady Adams, we saw him go out earlier. He is also back in there. That's a good thing to see. 2 receivers either side. Wide to the right is Keys. Gadia takes it on the draw play and will plow ahead for a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and call it 2. I like the fact that Plainfield's not abandoning the run despite the fact that they're down. But they do have to keep an eye on the clock. 5:43 left to go in the third. And they're facing that 2-score deficit. 24-7. Ritter near side, Keys wide to the right. Slayton in the shotgun. Draw play once again to Gadia. Looking for room to work with, and he'll actually be pushed back this time. Called a loss of 1, and that'll bring out 4th down. And it looks like the punt team comes on. Not necessarily in huge trouble yet. You wouldn't mind seeing at least I wouldn't mind seeing Plainfield go for it here. But it does not look like they will. Hagee takes it, rugby style kick, and it hits about the 20 and will pretty much stop dead at the 15. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Warriors, and we just saw them pretty much march it straight down the field. We'll see if the Plainfield defense is able to quickly get back out there after that and put the brakes on to prevent another Whiteland score. One receiver near side, Carpenter, with 2 running backs behind him. Handoff is given right up the middle, but Bryce Biddle puts a big lick on the ball carrier, and that is Cisneros, who took a second to get up, but believe me, if the senior 6'1", 260 Bryce Biddle put a hit on me like that, I would be pretty slow to get up. And if you ask my wife, she'll say I'm pretty slow to get up in the morning anyway. Usually takes me about 20 minutes hitting the snooze before I finally decide, yep, that's enough time to get out of bed. 2nd and 10 for the Warriors. 1 man in motion. Handoff goes to that man. I believe it's Hillman. We'll check the number here momentarily as he crosses the 20 to call it the 21. Handoff was to Hillman. So it'll be 3rd and call it 5 from the 21. And flags fly. So if this is moved back, that'll be hugely. It is a false start, so they'll back Whiteland up. That really helps Plainfield out here. Trying to get off the field here on 3rd down, so it makes it 3rd and 9. Looks like the. Can never really say for sure, but I was looking at the receiving yard to see what the long was. The long is actually 21, so 9's not out of the question through the air. But Carpenter isn't known for his arm. Cisneros takes it on the pitch out, and he'll be stopped short after a gain of, call it 3. So it'll be 4th and 5, and that should send on the lane and the punt unit. Verdon goes back to return it. He'll stand at about the Plainfield 40-yard line. Spillane waits to receive the punt at about his own 6. Takes it, puts a straight kick into it, and it's going to take a huge bounce to the 16 as Verdon decided to let it go, but with the forward momentum it had on that straight kick, took a great Whiteland bounce. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Plainfield. Ritter near side for Slayton in the pistol. Dante Keys, the man in motion, coming across the formation. Slayton takes it, looks, puts the head down, and will step out of bounds after a gain of about 7 or 8. We'll call it 7. So it brings out 2nd and 3. Keys comes near side. Ritter will be in the slot. Wide to the right is Middleton. Slayton in the pistol. High snap, brings it down, hands off to Gaddia. Gaddia with room to work with. Breaking tackles across the 35 up to the 36. Nice carry that time from Gaddia. When you look at the fact that Slayton and Gaddia are both sophomores and Ritter's only a junior, lots of great play from the skill position to look forward to here. Anderson, despite the fact he's injured, still has 1 more year. Low snap, Slayton takes it, looks to throw. Has Ritter over the middle, crossing the 40. Still on his feet to the 30, breaking tackles up to, call it the 28 of Whiteland. Once again, Slayton and Ritter have the magic hookup. Two receivers to the right. Middleton near side. Slayton takes it. Rolling to his right. Looking downfield. Looking on the comeback is no good. Incomplete pass. Intended target of Keys. Looking forward to tonight's Chicago Cubs game against San Francisco. So it's 2nd and 10. Handoff goes to Gaddia. Gaddia on the draw, works his way up, crossing the 25, up ahead to the 26. So it'll be 3rd and, let's call it 6. Just under a minute now in the 3rd quarter. Plainfield trails 24-7. 3 receivers near side, 1 wide to the right. Pretty much spread formation here. Slayton takes it. Quick throw. High for Keys. That one was way too high. That one sailed on Slayton. And Keys unable to haul it in. Brings out 4th down. In this position, if you're Plainfield, despite the score, you would go for it anyway based on field position. Really need the points here. Middleton wide to the right. Keys, Ritter, and I think Parker stack up near side. And that's a sack. Fumble. Ball comes out. Whiteland has it. That's not what you wanted to happen if you're Plainfield. Looked like they were setting up the screenplay, it just didn't come to fruition. And Slayton wasn't able to deliver the ball in time as he had pressure in his face. Screen would have been set up for Mason Burgess. Either way, that puts added pressure on this Plainfield defense. Handoff goes up the middle to Cisneros. Gets ahead for a gain of 5. And that clock continues to roll. And that clock's quickly becoming the worst enemy of Plainfield right now, as Whiteland doesn't have to run another play before the 4th, and I doubt they would. We'll see what they choose to do. Under 4 seconds, they haven't broke the huddle. They're not running another play. Gunnell and Kinnaman provides total financial management for all your investment, insurance, accounting, and tax-paying needs. They're located at 2680 East Main Street, Suite 124 in Plainfield. Meetings can be arranged by appointment by calling 203-4433. More information can be found at www.gkfin.com. For more than 2 decades, Wicker Construction has engaged in building one-of-a-kind homes and remodeling projects while exceeding client expectations, delivering projects with professionalism and integrity. Wicker Construction works closely with you, the client, to understand your lifestyle and construction needs. The Beacon Sign Company specializes in local high school sports and event signage needs. This is their 13th year of supporting the Red Pride football program. They are located at 9305 East U.S. Highway 36 in Avon. You can call 272-2388 for all your signage needs, or stop by Monday through Friday from 9 to 6. Teams switch sides once again. Whiteland has it. 2nd and call it 6 on their own 35. "24 minutes of possession for Whiteland here tonight. Handoff goes to the right side, and plenty of room to work with. Breaking tackles. Continuing to work his way forward is the ball carrier. Up ahead to about the 33. Ball carrier was Preston Phillips. Handoff goes to Cisneros, who's brought down very quickly by Herschel Blankenship. So gain of 2. Makes it 2nd and 8. Whiteland doing their best to milk the clock. Play clock now under 10. Carpenter to throw, too high. So brings out 3rd down. Three receivers near side, no one wide to the right. Cisneros behind Carpenter. Carpenter has pressure, sets up a screen, and that one's picked off. That one was lobbed up for Cisneros and intercepted by Jackson Deal, the lineman. Typically why you don't see screen passes over the middle because it gives linemen or linebackers playing up close the opportunity to pick it off. And the way that one was lobbed, that one was easy pickings. Easy pickings for the pick. Slayton takes it, looks left, throwing long. Has a man wide open in Ritter, but that one tailed out of bounds. Talked about the wind playing a factor. It played a factor on that pass. Ritter, Keys, and Middleton all go wide to the left. We'll have, brings up the secondary for that. Screenplay set up to Keys. Keys takes it, looking for him to work with. Has blocks in front of him. Gets the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Plainfield 40. Gavin Jacobs, Ritter, and Keys all stacked up near side. Middleton wide to the left for Slayton. Stands with Gaddia. Low snap. Slayton brings up, looks to run, and will get ahead for 3. Maybe only 2. Call it 2. It'll bring out 2nd and 8. Ten minutes to go in the 4th. Plainfield still trailing 24-7. 3 receivers near side, 1 to the left. 1 to the left is Middleton, I believe. Slayton in the pistol. Slayton throws to Middleton. Middleton breaking tackles, crossing the 30 to the 25 before he's finally brought down. Middleton did an excellent job in the open. Middleton did an excellent job in the open field breaking tackles. As he caught the ball, knocked off, just put his shoulder down, knocked a couple of would-be tacklers away. Slayton looking, finds Gavin Ritter in the soft spot of the defense, crossing the 15, 10, looks for the end zone, he's in. Touchdown Plainfield, and that makes it a little bit more interesting. Now down only 11 pending the PAT. Ritter's actually going to hold that. I'm not sure if Ritter normally holds it. Puts it down. Up and in. So 10-point ball game, 9:14 left to go in the 4th quarter. And that was pretty much the offensive drive that Plainfield needs. And came off the turnover. Another turnover would be huge for the Plainfield defense. You have to think that Whiteland's not really going to go to the air too much on their next possession. We'll probably try and run a lot, but if you can get a fumble, that would pay huge dividends for the Quakers. That was a Gavin Ritter 26-yard pass from Ben Slayton at 9:14. Hagee's kick was good. Was a 5-play, 71-yard drive that took a minute 21 off the clock. Makes it, as we talked about, 24-14. Passing now, Slayton 7 of 14 for 202 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hagee ready to put a leg into it. It's a onside kick, and Plainfield recovers. Plainfield recovers at their own 49, and Plainfield has the ball. The onside kick from Plainfield is good, and they recovered it. there on the recovery was number 6, Herschel Blankenship. And now Plainfield in excellent field position at their own at the 50-yard line. Knows where the ball is at the 50. Still in their own territory technically. Slayton hands off to Gaddeo. Gaddeo spins up the middle, up ahead for a gain of, call it 3. Makes it 2nd and 7. Three receivers far side, 1 near side. That's Middleton. Slayton in the pistol. Slayton takes it, hands off Gaddeo. Gaddeo has plenty of room to work with on the right. Crosses the first down and up ahead for a couple more on a, call it 10-yard carry. Makes it 1st and 10 from the 38. Slayton takes it, fakes to Gaddeo, looks over the middle, and it's picked off. Picked off by Whiteland, and they'll bring it back to the 40. Tackle made by Keys. So Plainfield had the momentum on their side, and just like that, it goes back to Whiteland. So 8-18, another turnover would be nice for Plainfield. We talked about chances are they're going to run as much as they can, as if they haven't ran enough. I calculated it earlier, 86% of Whiteland's plays come from the rush. Ball's set, but it looks like we might have an official down on the far side. It's an official timeout. Maybe just an official tying a shoe. I'm not really too sure what he's doing on the far side of the field. Maybe fixing, I think he was fixing something to do with the chain. So the issue's been resolved. Carpenter will hand off, end around. And plenty of yardage there for Preston Phillips to work with. Makes it 2nd and 4. Make that 2nd and 3. And off goes to Cisneros. He's met immediately by Bryce Biddle, among others. So it'll be a 3rd down play, 3rd and short. Carpenter goes under center. Sends Phillips in motion. Hands off is up the middle. Ball carrier that time was Parks. 1st down. Clock continues to move. Under 6:52. Both teams still with all their timeouts. And that one's fumbled but picked up by Cisneros. So the break goes Whiteland's way. Makes it 2nd and 4. Leicester comes near side. One receiver wide to the right. Carpenter under center. Phillips in motion. Handoff is up the middle to Cisneros, and he's driven backwards by a number of Quakers. Make it 3rd and call it 3. "15 seconds on the play clock. Leicester comes near side. Hillman wide to the right. He'll probably be the man in motion. Not that I'm a mind reader. Oh, look, Hillman in motion. Carpenter will hand off to Hillman. Hillman crosses the first down marker. Across the 30 up to the 29. Like, based on the formation, it's sometimes hard to figure out where the ball is going, but at the same time, it still gets fairly predictable. The problem is just the gap coverage. Bring enough defenders to where the ball carrier is actually going to hit the hole, make sure he can't get through. And that can be hard to do with the motion. That's why the jet sweep is a very effective play. Cisneros on the handoff. Breaking tackles. Up ahead to the 12-yard line. .423 now. Bouncing to the right was the ball carrier. I think it was Phillips. Makes it 2nd and 6. Clock continues to run. Now 3:35 left to go in the 4th. Plainfield down 10. Handoff goes up the middle to Shantz. He'll get ahead for, call it 1. Makes it 3rd and 4. And Plainfield will use a timeout. Pizza King is located at 8100 East US Highway 36, Suite A in Avon. Their dining room is open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Carryout is available from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. Their phone number is 272-1707. Pizza King has a TV in every booth and a train that delivers drinks to each booth. Elite Pro Painting is a small family-owned painting company. Elite Pro Painting does exterior and interior painting, both residential and commercial. They're open weekdays from 8 to 6 and Saturday 9 to 1. Their phone number is 388-1848. More information can be found by email at info@elitepropainting.com. Jimmy John's offers freaky fast delivery and are a last-minute catering specialist. They are located at 2683 East Main Street next to BW3s, and they're open from 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Saturday. More information can be found at 837-8282 or online at www.jimmyjohns.com. Carpenter sends a man in motion. Handoff goes to that man. And he'll be stopped short of a goal at the 1-yard line. So it'll be first and goal from the 1. Clock now under 2:50. And off goes up the middle, and that should be another scoring touchdown for Whiteland, and it is. So that'll put this game out of reach here on senior night. Makes it a 30-14 ball game, pending the PAT from Belaine. Still 2:20 left to go, 2:27 exactly. High snap, brought down, put up, and in by Belaine. Cannell and Kinnaman provides total financial management for all your investment, insurance, accounting, and tax planning needs. They're located at 2680 East Main Street, Suite 124 in Plainfield. Meetings can be arranged by appointment by calling 203-4433. More information can be found at www.gkfin.com. Well, we talked about coming into this game how closely matched these two teams were, and for a while it was a pretty even match, but as the game progressed, Plainfield just continued to kind of fade. Whiteland has really and truly dominated this game based on time and possession, and Plainfield's defense just has not had an answer for this jet sweep rushing attack. As far as winning the turnover battle, it's been kind of even. Both the teams have had turnovers, and I'm sure they'd wish they had back, but when it's kind of even, it doesn't really favor you. As I talked about, they run the ball 86% of their offensive plays. So it's definitely a good game scheme by Whiteland from that jet sweep. You almost always have a man in motion. Problem is figuring out which man's going to get the ball and being able to stop him. Fair catch signaled and caught. We also said one of the other keys was to look downfield to attack this defense, to go vertical and throw the long pass. And I feel like Plainfield was able to do that and able to get good scores off of that. But they had a couple of really 3-and-outs that really hurt them. I mean, on third downs tonight, Plainfield's only 1 of 7. And unable to convert those third downs hurts. Slayton looks to throw, and big hit applied to Gavin Jacobs, who's still down. He's slowly helped to his feet and walking off the field under his own power. But you will be feeling that one for a while. Brings out 2nd and 10. Slayton hands off to Gaddy on the draw, hits the line of scrimmage and gets a couple. Ball came out at the end, was picked up by Brady. Brady Adams, that is, excuse me. Either way, it's 3rd and 8. Under 2 minutes. Slayton looks to throw, has pressure. Will bring it down and step out of bounds. And Aggie will come on to punt it away. No one back to return for Whiteland, so they'll just let this one roll. Not really going for the block, but just kind of playing in a soft zone to make sure there's no trickery. Punts up, and will take a Plainfield bounce, rolling down, crossing the 10-yard line to the 5, to the 4. It's about the 3. 31-14, 122 left to go. I'd imagine Whiteland will just come out and knee it a couple times, as Plainfield will probably not use those final 2 timeouts. Well, it's not victory formation, actually. I guess Whiteland is going to be wary of those 2 timeouts. They'll run the ball. Gain of about 5 makes it 2nd and 5. Now they might knee it after they've gotten some breathing room and are assured that Plainfield's probably not going to use those final 2. And that's the knee. So one more knee should do it. Of course, we saw a game earlier against Ron Colley where they needed on 4th down, but doubt we see that here tonight. And that final knee will do it. Final score in this one is in favor of Whiteland. 31-14 is the final. Kind of recap the game for you. It came out and was a 0-0 battle in the first quarter. Neither team really able to get an advantage. As the second quarter progressed, each team was able to finally start getting on the board. Whiteland took a kind of heavy favor at the end, scoring in the final minute, going into the locker room, and then also getting the last-minute field goal. Kind of put them up by 2 scores, and they pretty much kept the 2-score lead after the half. Plainfield just kind of came out flat, particularly defensively. Wasn't able to really get anything going to kind of slow down this Whiteland rushing attack. And then in the fourth quarter, Plainfield came back, but just wasn't able to continue to capitalize. They had opportunities after the turnover and onside recovery, but just weren't able to capitalize. Too many 3-and-outs. The inability to convert 3rd down conversions really, really hurt the Quakers here tonight, as they the 3rd down conversions was really kind of the difference maker. That and the time of possession from Whiteland. Whiteland just kind of dominated the that time of possession, and it was completely in favor of Whiteland when it came to that stat. Whiteland, on the other hand, able to effectively convert their 3rd down conversions as well as 4th down conversions. They faced a couple of them here tonight. We'll have a scoring breakdown and final stats upcoming momentarily for you. I had to give a player of the game. I'm going to give it to Gavin Ritter. Ritter played a very, very great game through the air, had a number of good catches, broke a lot of tackles in the open field for extra yardage for the Plainfield offense. If it wasn't for his ability to catch the ball in the open field and get the long passes, then it would have been a very, very different game. Still waiting, still calculating the final statistics, so give me a moment on that. Like, as I've talked about, when it comes to this Whiteland offense, with that jet sweep formation, it seems easy to stop, right? I mean, you have man-to-man coverage. Guy comes across the formation. But the problem is you don't know if they're going to give it to one of the tailbacks behind them, go with the man in motion. And that makes it difficult to kind of contain gap coverage. And when I say gap coverage, I mean, the gaps between the offensive linemen that are trying to open up holes for the running backs to run through. Typically, gap coverage means you're bringing defensive players to that hole to try and slow up the rushing attack, and Plainfield just didn't have the ability to do that on defense here tonight. And Whiteland was able to get whatever they wanted, get on the ground, and that really is a credit to the Whiteland scheme, the Whiteland offensive line, and just their ability to rush the ball. I mean, Cisneros had a terrific game. Parks had a good game. Preston Phillips, Evan Hillman. I mean, you're looking at players that all ran the ball tonight, including Anthony Shantz. That's not including the quarterback, Chase Carpenter. So you look at the fact that there's so many players they have that can rush the ball and, even catch the ball in the jet sweep motion and be able to quickly turn it upfield. That's not an easy thing to do, but they do it very, very well. So first downs total for Whiteland was 21. They had 57 carries for 302 rushing yards. Plainfield, on the other hand, had 27 carries for 84 yards. Passing, Plainfield did have 202. Whiteland had 69. The offensive play count, Whiteland finished with 65 plays for 371 yards. Neither team fumbled it. The interceptions, Plainfield had 1. Whiteland had 1. Penalties, both teams did a fairly good job minimizing their penalties. Possession, heavily favored, though, in Whiteland. 32 minutes and 31 seconds to Whiteland's. Whiteland had time of possession compared to Plainfield's 15 minutes and 29 seconds. Third down conversions, Whiteland was 6 of 13. Plainfield only 1 of 8. Whiteland was 2 of 2 on their fourth downs. Plainfield was 0 of 2. And every single time Whiteland got the red zone, they scored 5 of 5. Rushing for Plainfield, their leading rusher was Gadia. He had 17 carries for 63 yards. Dante Keys finished with 3 carries for 12 yards. Slayton had a couple carries for 7 yards. Slayton passing was 7 of 16 on the night, had the 1 interception, 2 touchdowns, 202 yards. 5 of those 7 completions were to Gavin Ritter, finished with 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. Middleton had 1 catch for 31, and Dante Keys had 1 catch for 11. Hagee did a very good job punting the ball tonight. 5 punts for an average of 41 yards. 3 of those were inside the 20. Michael Papas was the leading tackler with 13. Herschel Blankenship had 9, and Tyler Marks had 9. For Whiteland, their leading rusher was Edwin Cisneros. He had 22 carries for 100 yards. Preston Phillips had 7 carries for 77 yards. Hillman, 10 carries for 61 yards. And Shantz finished 3 carries, 28 yards. Carpenter was 5 of 8 passing the ball, as well as 1 interception. He had 69 total yards. Receiving, 2 of those catches was to Evan Hillman for 28. Cisneros, 1 catch, 21 yards. Leister, 1 catch, 13. Levi Parks, 1 for 7. Tackles, their leading tacklers was Ryan Hahn and Logan Molinex. Let's go and break down the scoring summary. In the second quarter, Whiteland got it started at the 10-15 minute mark of the second quarter. Preston Phillips had an 11-yard run and scored. Belaine made the extra point, capped off a 7-minute, 63-yard scoring drive at the 3:02-minute mark, made it 7-0. Plainfield quickly countered right back on the 70-yard pass from Slayton to Ritter. Hagee made it a 7-0 ball game. Whiteland then has scored at the minute 50 mark of the second on the 1-yard rush from Parks. Belaine made the extra point, made it 14-7. And then to close the second quarter, Belaine made the 27-yard field goal to make it 17-7. Out of the third quarter, Whiteland was the only team that scored in the third quarter. They had capped off a 9-play, 69-yard drive on the Phillips 8-yard run. Belaine made the extra point, made it 24-7. And then in the fourth, Plainfield got back into it on the Gavin Ritter 26-yard pass from Slayton. made it 24-14, but Whiteland once again scored on the Parks 2-yard run to put the game out of reach at 31-14, and that was our scoring summary. Up next for Plainfield High School, they will be in action on the road next Friday, October 14th. They'll close the regular season and will face was coming in tonight 0-7 Martinsville Artesians, but last I checked, they were up big against Mooresville. That'll cap off the final game and final conference play. Last season, the Quakers beat the Artesians 56-31 at home. Martinsville, as I talked about, came into the night 0-17 in their last 17 games. They played, as we talked about, at Mooresville tonight. Audio Sports Online's coverage begins at 6:45, and our own Lex Zorn will have the call for that one. We want to thank you for listening to Plainfield Football, powered by AudioSportsOnline.com. This broadcast is brought to you by Wicker Construction, the Beacon Sign Company, Gunnell and Kinnaman, LLP, Dom Trucking, Elite Pro Painting, Jimmy John's, Pizza King Station of Avon, and the Beacon Sign Company. I'm J.P. Sinclair, wishing you a good night and a great weekend.